Let's do the chest cold open first. Good morning, Spikelings. It is I, your most humble and elegant of hosts, Aspiring Spike. I politely welcome you to my Shark Typhoon. Today I post a question. What's better than bad? It's good. Yes, red-green good card storm will lead us into quite adequate results thanks to the inclusion of our most gracious cloth. Oh wait, there's no clothness in this list? Oof, well, good luck, I guess. Help out with a like, comment, sub, follow, support, Spike, and store, purchase, and more. Okay, so this list is kind of inspired by a few different things. One of the one deck list that I saw recently, let me maybe pull it up, was a list that Young Dingo played, which I believe was from the 5-0 dump, and I think that Dingo also trophied with it. It was a blue-red fair storm deck, I think is what he called it. So let me see if I can grab it here. Okay, so this was a blue-red list splashing white for some sideboard cards. Playing just it's a Ragavan DRC Lightning Bolt on Holy Heat deck with Manamorphose, Underworld Breach, and 1 copy of Grapeshot, 2 copies of Gruul as a kind of like late game storm win condition while you have like this really good early game. I thought that this was really interesting, and this was definitely a deck that really sparked my imagination. So I would maybe kind of consider this deck to be in the same archetype. I'm not sure. It's obviously really different also. So instead of playing blue, we're playing green for mostly Goblin Anarchomancer and Abundant Harvest and sideboard cards as well. Sideboard cards are really good in green. The Abundant Harvest is a card that I liked in green-red prowess. Abundant Harvest is a card that I think is very good in decks that want to really they want to play low land counts, and decks that want to cast multiple spells in the same turn. And so this was true of Prowess, and I think this is true of Storm as well. And so by playing Abundant Harvest, you actually can get away with playing only 15 lands, which means that on later turns, you're just going to be able to, top deck gas a bit more consistently as well. Yeah, mid-range Storm. I think mid-range Storm is an okay name. But this deck, I should also say, compared to Dingo's list, this list is more in on the Storm game plan. Where I'm playing the full 4 copies of Grapeshot, and I'm playing 8 rituals instead of just 2. So the general idea is you have you have early game pressure with Ragavan, Dragon Rage's Channeler. Ragavan kind of like just a little ritual generator. Dragon Rage's Channeler, super important card to fill your graveyard for Underworld Breach. And what I've found with this list is like a lot of times you're going to get in for some early chip damage. You're going to set up. You're going to maybe play an Anarchomancer on turn 2. Maybe it dies. Anarchomancer is great in this deck, by the way. Makes Breach cost 1 mana. You're going to play an Anarchomancer on turn 2 sometimes, and then on turn 4, turn 5, you're going to just Grapeshot them 2 or 3 times, with either Breach or naturally drawing them, and you're going to burn them out in addition to your early game plan. There's a lot of interesting lines. What's cool about this storm list compared to traditional gift storm is that your mana curve is super duper low, and that makes you a lot more resilient in the world of counter spells and fluster storms and everything, and you get to attack from a few different angles. I know we're all looking at the one of Experimental Frenzy. This is still just a card I'm playtesting, but I think the first copy is really good, and they have really significant diminishing returns. Is kind of my main thought here. Well, we immediately draw both copies of Empty the Warrens. Although on turn 3 we can go Anarchomancer, Ritual, Empty, minimum. Splicing lost me the game because I would have had Bolt for Voidwalker if you couldn't splice. I mean, bolting them lost me the game, not splicing. I mean, I also I don't know that bolting the Voidwalker wins me the game there, you know what I mean? But maybe. Okay, looks like we're up against Grixis Shadow. Matchup where Empty should be really good. So I'm hoping they iteration this turn and don't Thoughtseize me. I consider Galvanic Relay. I haven't played a ton with that card. I played a little bit with it on other shells. I had a bigger version of this deck with Hazardous and Dying Fury. I think that version's just that version gets counterspelled so hard. This deck, just its lower curve, is much more resilient to counterspell. Do you really need Weatherstorm and sideboard? More Frenzy versus Scam? I mean, I did lose to Burn. Burn's a tough matchup. Again, but yeah, you could easily change anything you wanted about the sideboard. Sideboards with like combo decks especially, they just take a lot of time. Tapped. Not tapped. That's okay though, if they heat the Anarchomancer, it should be fine. Because we go Anarchomancer, Ritual, if it resolves, that's great. What if I go Channeler, Ritual, 4 mana. They kill the Channeler, I have 1 Surveil, 3, 4, 5. It's not enough to breach Ritual again. It's maybe a bit better against Spell Pierce. Yeah, I feel like this is basically the same as the Anarchomancer, except I get just extra Surveils, and I potentially get to go crazier if they don't kill the Channeler immediately. Idea of Thrusta with the Anarchomancer. Yeah, I've tried to build it several times. I've tried to build like this red-green, like Low to the Ground Storm deck several times. I can pull up some drafts later. Wait, Thrust. But like what I like about this version compared to every other build I've had is that the curve is really, really low, and I feel like that's what the deck, how the deck needs to be built. Ooh, keep that on top. Oh, so I needed to graveyard it. For no reason, I don't know why I was thinking. I needed to graveyard it and cast it with the Breach. Oopsie. Okay, so I cast Breach, put a card in the yard. I should be able to Ritual, empty. Missing a card in the yard here is pretty tough. And even if they kill the Channeler, the Channeler itself will be the extra card in the yard we need. It'll up the storm count. But it is pausing like they have something. Okay, yeah, they did have the heat. But that's the extra card in the yard we need, so we're going to get to make 16 goblins here on turn 3. Could have extra copies of Empty in the sideboard. That could be a good way to like beat Graveyard Hate too. Kind of like that thought. Yeah, so we go Ritual, no cards in yard. Man, missing that card in the yard almost cost me everything. Alright, seemed like a good addition. How difficult is playing this deck? Not nearly as hard as blue-white control, but I would say one of the harder decks to play. Yeah, 3-2 last league. What is like with 4MT, 4 Bushwhacker? That's too high curve, I think. I played like Goblin Storm in the past, but you're too on the curve there. Not quite as hard as Answer Tests. I don't know. So like, right now it's definitely harder because this is like a new build and like this like learning the lines. Like for me, this is harder than Answer Tests because I have like literal thousands of matches with Ant and Tests. Or with ants, not very many with Tess. And I have never played this deck before. This is a brand new one, so right now this is the harder one, I think. All right, so I think I'm gonna cut the Ragavans for Veils. Okay, we're almost done. I think we're gonna add more empties next league. We'll see. We're just gonna be a little bit of a tweak and try stream. Could play Blood Moon. We're on the draw though. Maybe on the play. Turn 2 Ritual Blood Moon. Ant and Tess are the two, or at one point, I don't know what it's really like right now, but at one point were the two main Storm variants. They were similar in a lot of ways, but Tess was a bit faster, played Burning Wish, and Ant was a bit slower and tried to play through interaction with like more discard spells. But Tess also played discard spells. It's but I always liked to play Ants back in the day. Is it worth cutting Empty because of EE? If they're copying my Shadow list, there's no EE. Empty's also really good against them. Like, it's like great against their entire deck besides EE if they even have it. Yeah, EE lost a lot of stock, obviously, with the Luris ban. It's a totally reasonable card for them to have access to, but They're pretty screwed if they don't have it. And we also won't always draw the empty, even if they do draw the EE. Could Flump Narset work in Modern? Am I dreaming? We played against it in a challenge one time. It looked really bad. Kind of like just Grapeshotting this. The Spell Pierce set? Awesome. That we're very happy to have that eat the Spell Pierce. Yeah, the problem with Flump is like people just won't attack into it, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the point. I don't know. It's just Flump is a flop, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the combo, or this is enough to combo, I should say. Let's just pass back, or not enough to combo this turn. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I want to deploy the Channeler or anything into open mana. I put a Mist to land drop last turn. They can't really tap out, but we can make their life hard by not letting them use their mana efficiently either. We're not under a ton of pressure at the moment. But maybe even like iteration and like brick or something. And if we could find Veil of Summer, we can like lead out on that and be fine. Well, maybe be fine anyway, so we can go Anarchomancer Ritual. They'll probably kill the Anarchomancer in response. 3 mana, then we can go Channeler, Ritual, win the game. They have, so this beats 1 piece of interaction, not 2. They have 3 mana up available, of course. Let's pass. Let's pass one more turn. Oh, maybe I should Jegantha my hand, though. Why not? What if you bait out the removal playing Deer Sea? Well, the thing I don't want them to like. They have 4 cards in their hand and they've been missing land drops. They had 4 spells in their hand. Now they still have 4 spells in their hand, which stinks. And now they have an extra land. But I mostly am interested in taxing their mana rather than like trying to play through their cards because they've been missing land drops. So like just like playing a card, letting them use their mana 1 from 1 and then untapping. I think that's not the right line. Okay, land is actually a really good draw here. So let's go Anarchomancer Ritual. And now that they've tapped 2 mana, we're in really good shape. I think their hand is a single 2 mana answer, yeah. So we'll see what they save it for. I think that it's really hard for them to not just kill this Anarchomancer right now. You know what I mean? Spell Pierce. Okay, so let's go Ritual in response. Pay for Spell Pierce. They have 3 Spell Pierces? Hopefully this is just a removal spell. Boom. Stick with 9 months. Okay, just a removal spell. I think winning through Spell Pierce Bolt here is really hype. I think we win. I'm not 100% sure. 99. Haven't counted. So we get 3 mana. We pay 2 mana to get 3 more mana. So that's a ritual right there. Yeah, as we just go Channeler, Ritual, Breach, win. Sweet. There's a Grapeshot that is just lethal right now. I think I'm just gonna guess one more ritual for no real reason. As you do in these storm decks. Just like a Grapeshot twice. Doesn't play around anything really. Yeah, we could have dealt 20 here if they hadn't dealt themselves all that damage. Crazy to win through. I mean, obviously, combo decks against Grixis Shadow, like spell-based combo is always tough because their curve is so low and they have such cheap pressure. But Winning like through like bolt on your Anarchomancer and Spell Pierce on turn 5 feels pretty good. Boom, selected 9 months and round to 16. Okay, this hand's sick. Let's keep. Cut the Grapeshot for Wish. Wish is like probably not that bad. Could play 2 Wish over the empties. Maybe, I guess at that point you would cut a Grapeshot. We could try it out maybe. I've come around on Wish a little bit. I've been winning more empties at all. Yeah, so last league I didn't have empties at all. Then I wanted empties, so we're playing 2. So I think that I'm likely to want more empties. I think we're gonna just try a lot of different versions today, and we'll have a good time. And just like never ever get to the backup deck. No backup decks all week. Which is nice. I always love when I'm able to like just play new stuff all week and have another new deck prep to just be like one day ahead of the stream. Because usually I'm playing catch up and like I end the stream having no idea what I'm playing the next day. What's the difference between Passion Flames and Breach? It's mostly like mana value. Like, you know, one is 2 mana, one is 4 mana. Obviously, like, Breach can also, like, let you play Bauble, which is huge. Let you replay Dragon Rage's Channeler, which is a combo piece, too. But it just lets you go off, like, with a lower curve, which is really important in this modern, is to have a very low mana curve. Yeah, and also, yeah, so that's the other big thing, of course, is you get to replay the same card over and over. So you can, like, replay the same Grapeshot, like, 2 or 3 times, or replay the same Manamorphose, but you can't do that with Past in Flames. Yeah, the brews have been so good for the last 2 months. I'm definitely like running hot right now, which is like, where I'm like very very much in the zone at the moment. I feel, and I want to stay in the zone as long as I can. Okay, so take my payoff. I do have Delirium. So like, this is also like really cool. I think where, like, my opponent thought sees my payoff. I get 2 draws here, but I just have a DRC beating them down, and I have 4 Bolt, 4 Grapeshot in my deck. I'm just gonna, and then here's a Ragavan, you know, and so we just get to attack from a couple different angles, which I think is cool. We can, like, Anarchomancer into Ritual on Jegantha again. Bolt the Ragavan. Do they also have 1 land? That's funny. Okay, then here, like, here's just the Grapeshot. My opponent said 9. We can enter Magic Festival. I'm undecided at the moment. I've already planned some trips for like January, February with Esther, and so I think like I think Philly may even be like my anniversary weekend. I can't remember what weekend Philly is, but like Esther wants to go like get a cabin in Oklahoma with the dogs and just like, you know, touch grass all weekend. Okay, Shadow with no Jegantha. Yeah, do our anniversary to Philly. Sorry, babe, I got Magic to play. It's our 5 years, so it's, you know, kind of an important one, I guess. Why Oklahoma? I mean, it's just like what's close by. Like, it's like if you're gonna go to a cabin with dogs, you know, you have to pick something that's like reasonable driving distance. I see no blue mana available, opponent. Esther really likes the Oklahoma musical. I've never seen it, though. Am I in Dallas? I'm in your mom's house. Yeah, I'm in Dallas. We could actually probably deal like 30 damage this turn with that draw, but don't need to deal 30. You could probably guess I have Underworld Breach in my deck, but I'm just gonna Grapeshot. Nico, 12 months, thank you. Yeah, just Grapeshot for 1. Bip. Back-to-back Grixis Shadow opponents. They don't think the 3/5/5 is worth it, although maybe they're playing like Murktide or something. I'm gonna sideboard the same way. Yeah, maybe they pass the Flames instead of Breach, although it's probably not going to change their sideboarding much. Maybe if they have Invasive Surgery, they'll bring it in. That card's actually not that good against us. I think so. It's okay, actually. because we won Grapeshot multiple times. Can weather target opponent? No, it can't. I wouldn't bring it in either anyways, just to kill Shadow, but it'd be funny though. Moon with 0-4 seems weird. Yeah, I mean, our deck is mostly mono red. And so, like, you're going to bring in a Moon against, like, specifically Titan and Tron, where it's going to really slow them down. And you have Manamorphose. You can play a Narcomancer before your Moon a lot of the time. You don't need a Narcomancer to combo all the time either. You also have Jegantha. Why do you bring in Abundant Harvest for Shadow? Is it resilient to discard? Harvest is in the main deck. I brought it in Veil of Summer and cut Ragavan. Harvest is in the main deck so that you can play only 15 lands, and it's also like it contributes to your storm count, and yeah, you have a lot of redundancy in your effects too. The rare Harvest deck, great hand. I guess I put back second copy of Breach. We could put back the Bauble. We'll put back the Bauble. Any place revisit? Yeah. We'll play Bant Company. So like. This is like the usual cycle. Like I feel like I go on like really hot streaks of brewing, and I feel like I'm in the middle of a really hot streak at the moment. And a lot of times, like after that's all done or whatever, or things cool down and I run out of ideas for a little bit, that's when I start to like circle back to classic hits, to other brews from the hot streak, and until the ideas start flowing again. And so right now, when things are really hot and I'm like playing like 3+ new decks a week, I try to stay in this zone as long as I possibly can. Ooh, do not take my harvest, please. I mean, they're probably gonna take the harvest. Yeah, exactly, Panda. It's only been 1 week? It's only been 1 week since what? I've been playing like 3 new decks a week for a while now. Like this week, I played Grixis Shadow with Breach, the Storm Herald deck, and Green Red Storm. It's only Thursday. Yesterday, we played the Anorak combo, updated Heliod, Darksteel Relic. 2 different versions of the Anorak combo, but we can cut them as one deck. The previous week, we had Sultai Neobrand, Recommission Elementals, updated Red Green Coding, Gorya's Vengeance Titania, first edition of Heliod. The week before that, we had the Kylo's Reconstruction Plan, Trash for Treasure with Food, updated Red Black Sack, Mono Green Devotion Storm. Oh, dude, just give me the harvest back. Let's go. It's been like a really good month or so. I think Grand Architect could make it into Modern somehow. Grand Architect. Let me reread that card. I think it's an EDH card mostly, right? Breach Shadow was really good. We went 50503232. Oh, that card, yeah. It's a powerful card. Like you would have to have some like new like cheap blue creatures that work with artifacts get printed. They find an Unearth. Interesting. Honestly, Grapeshot would be kind of a cool draw. We just go Ritual, Grapeshot, kill both of those. Alright, let's try to Veil some Thoughtseize. Yeah, weird that they're playing Unearth and not Esper, huh? Okay, I'll now they come to Black Spell. I'll cycle this Veil of Summer basically no matter what. Reckless Impulse. You could play Reckless Impulse. I think that card's pretty mid. Doesn't seem super necessary. Inelegant, 22 months, thank you. Kind of stings because like this as protection is maybe really important, but I think I just need the cycle really badly also. Alright, let me play out the Anarchomancer. Just have to use my mana this turn. Someone likely to be dead. We have game 3 on the play though, which is nice. I could bring in Blood Moon. I don't know. It could be over sideboarding to play Blood Moon against them. It's like so bad if they just like have a Ragavan that you can't answer. Right. I mean, I'm gonna block the channeler, right? Did it dress down? They did that too. Let's go game 3. I'm gonna play for game 3. Team or Battle Rage is why they don't have Jegantha. Unable to adapt. We haven't seen anything that turns off Jegantha for them, right? They may have Murktide. Murktide, like, I guess Team or Battle Rage is better with Murktide. Testing of creativity with other targets like Portal. I've done Shape Anew with Portal. I trophied with that this season. Moon in. Okay, if you're gonna say Moon in, you have to tell me what is coming out for the moons. Would Moon slow them down? It could. It could also just get Spell Pierce on turn 2. They could also go turn 1 Ragavan, you go turn 2 Moon, and you lose. No breach? 4 breaches right here. MT is like one of the best cards in this matchup. MT is like maybe the best card in this matchup. I think it's silly to cut it. Cut MT either TBR. Even against TBR, it's still very, very good against them. Alright, happy no turn 1 creature. We can just chill. Maybe get to Splice. Any Splicers in the chat? The old turn 2 Thoughtseize. With Spell Pierce up. Pretty good. Just gonna take my Breach. Just trying to empty the Warrens. Yeah, I agree. I think Breach is a little underexplored, which is obviously why we've spent this week, you know, playing in a couple new shells. And they took Manamorphose? So this implies they have a good answer for the Breach. So if I could draw something that lets me go off this turn, I'll be incentivized to play it. Obviously, Anarchomancer is really close, but I need to draw something off Manamorphose. And I don't even have like really that much I can draw off of it. I can only cast Manamorphose once. If I could cast it, if I could just cast it one more time, I'd be jamming here. But let's wait a turn. If this mountain was a fetch land, I think we would be jamming, so we could just Manamorphose twice after the Anarchomancer. Hope a little bit. They might play Shadow this turn. They probably have another Thoughtseize, maybe. Them playing around Veil of Summer is obviously really tough for us this game. Thoughts on Galvanic Relay? It's an option. I haven't played almost any with Galvanic Relay. I don't think it plays super well with the card Underworld Breach. I think it obviously plays okay. They're playing... Okay, there's no Jegantha. I don't think you want to play Spiral in your Shadow deck very often. They just tapped out, though, so let's hope that we draw Channeler or Grapeshot. I think either of those cards is a win this turn. Channeler, Grapeshot, Harvest would be okay. Manamorphose would be good. Another Anarchomancer is not very good, though. Unfortunately. I think I just have to play one of these and pass. I'll block. If they want a Team or Battle Rage to kill one of my Anarchomancers, that's okay. I have a second. I'll block the 1/1. Yeah, give them maybe too much time. Obviously, we had a lot of good top decks, and I was not really expecting them to take the Jegantha, I'll say. Put them to 3. I think I have lethal. Oh wait, hold on. No, I don't have lethal. No, I don't have lethal. The spell bomb. I'm just trying to think if I want to just put them to 3. And I have 4 bolts in my deck. I think no. I think I may be able to like help get them to like contribute to my storm count. They've already cast 2 Thoughtseizes, so my hand should be like relatively safe, you know. There's a Pro Tour. So the Pro Tour is back. The first one is in Philly in February or March. Fetch Shock, baby. Fetch Shock. There are 5. I have 5 Storm in my hand. We draw a land where you're probably locked to win. A Channeler. So if I go Anarchomancer Ritual, the counter we lose, or not lose, but we're in not amazing shape. We're still in okay shape, honestly. We can go Cast Ritual. They can also just counter that. All right, let's cast the... Let's go Anarchomancer Ritual. All right, we win. Presumably. GG. We can even Grapeshot again for like, you know, put that for like 12 total damage. Let's go. Man, beating back-to-back Grixis Shadow decks of Storm is awesome. We thought through 2 Thoughtseizes, I Flusterstorm, a Nihil Spellbomb. Feels great. I like that the green lets you play a very, very low mana curve. I think a Narcomancer is better than Baral. And I think that, let's keep this. I think a Narcomancer is better than Baral. And I think you want to play 4 Grapeshots, basically, always. With 2 seconds to look for my win pool position. Well, that's the nice thing about Storm against Shadows. If they're not putting that much early game pressure against you, you can just be patient and win like that. I heard it won the Super Qualifier. Was that a different 75? That's cool though. I mean, Breach is just like, you know, underplayed. Yeah. So I think Iteration is really good. Like Iteration's the main card you lose. I haven't played obviously much with Consider, but I like Abundant Harvest over Consider because it lets you go down to like 18 lands, which is really I would have a really low land count in this deck, ideally. Ending is also really nice to beat some hate. I hate the Teferi, I think. But it's like conceptually, like you can't fit the extra rituals and the extra Grapeshots in this deck without like the Harvest tech opening up 3 slots, basically. Also, like, you should play 4 Lightning Bolt in the Breach deck over like any of the other removal spells. I feel pretty strongly about that, but I also don't like Spirebluff Canal as much as like playing just more fetch lands in your Breach deck. So like this is playing 8 fetch lands. I'm playing 9 in my 14 lane deck right now. I would be playing like 10 minimum in this Jeskai version. You should have as many fetch lands as you can. The sideboard remands I don't think make a ton of sense to me. But like it's also like but it's also kind of the same point I was making with this list. Like this list is also untuned. That list I think feels untuned as well, but they're winning, which is very exciting. Are there mechanics of mode to prevent sandbag with deal stack? I don't know if there are any built-in mechanics to do so. Is this like this could have been a turn 2 win if they didn't kill my Ragavan? It maybe still is. Hold on. Because I can go Ritual, Channeler, Ritual, Breach. I definitely have to run well, but if my opponent has Dothy Voidwalker, it's pretty bad. Ritual, Channeler, Ritual. I get 3 Surveils. Let's try it. Let's go for it. Turn 2. Obviously, if the Ragavan hit, it would be... That extra mana would matter so much. I'll get an extra Surveil, too. Graveyard. Literally any card. Still literally any card. Going to the yard here. Alright, so didn't hit any Manamorphoses or anything. We have 1 bolt in the yard, so we can exile 1 pretty freely. May just do nothing. So we can exile 2 of the rituals. So I think I'm gonna bolt them. Don't think I'm gonna ritual again. Then Ragavan. Okay, I can't even. I don't even have enough cards in the yard. Oh, there's the Grapeshot. There's the Grapeshot, which is. I mean, it was been a little short. Okay. Let's pass. Damn it. Would have been awesome. Probably should have waited a turn. But I think it's cool to just try lines. Decks like this that I've like. Just try to figure out what your range is. And again, like if they Voidwalker me, it's just so bad. Could have Madman bolted DRC. Bolted DRC to play Ragavan. I mean, DRC is better than Ragavan in this deck. I'm dazed and confused about this turn. I mean, I'm just trying stuff. This is a new deck. I'm trying to see like what my range of draws are. Don't overthink it. Are they mono black? You had a card to yard potentially exile. Just so I can cast Grapeshot. I mean, it's not even quite lethal. I maybe would rather have the DRC in play than to deal them like 10. We are playing against mono black though. My opponent started paying cost in my draw step, which makes me think they have main deck surgical. So I guess this is the rack. This is where E is a lot better, to be fair. I mean, Expressive Iteration is really good in the deck, you know, but again, Abundant Harvest like is very, very good for like the deck's like, you know, construction theory, for lack of a better word, I guess. Like, yeah, it is. We're up against the rack. Yeah, I don't know if there's a better way to phrase that, but Abundant Harvest like allows you to build the deck this way without the harvest. Like with Consider over Harvest, there's not enough room in the deck. And the Anarchomancer is better than Gruul by like a decent amount, making with Breach costing just 1, you know. Okay, make me discard a card. They'll just discard the Harvest and play my land tapped here. Try to like set up for top deck Breach for a win. Yeah, I'm gonna move the light, but you know I've just been pretty busy. Moving the light up and rearranging everything will take probably like 30 or 40 minutes. I just haven't had the extra time. Looks like a tough matchup. I mean, it's the rack. I don't know. Maybe it is. We have 4 Veil on our sideboard. I'll be okay. Beating land would mean... Oh, sorry. Harvest for land instead. Yeah, I guess that is better to fuel a breach. I know you're capping, but it even thins the deck too, some. Kind of. It's also like, yeah, if we hold our hand here, like it is weak to like their targeted discard too. We need to draw like Ritual Breach or something. That might do it. Cast it. Okay, me having 4 lands though does make Breach a lot better. But I don't have any rituals or Manamorphoses in my yard anymore. I also imagine if this was Experimental Synthesizer instead of Empty here. Yeah, it could have been a Frenzy. Yeah, Frenzy, not Synthesizer. Right, down to 3. Okay, there's Manamorphose. So if we draw exactly Breach here, we could win. I guess we're not just dead. Oh, I mean, they're going to be able to Raven's Crime or discard whatever card I have. Because I can put Jegantha in my hand and take 2 from the rack, but we know that they have Raven's Crimes. I guess they discard, but I mean, I don't know what their hand can be. Yeah, and I don't know what weird card we can see here either. Make opponents see it? I mean, make opponents see the line of making me discard an extra card in the rack deck, I guess. I'll make him do it, but it's probably not going to be that hard for the rack deck to see that I have a card in the hand, 2 cards in the hand, and they have to like cast a discard spell. Alright, down to game against the rack. Okay, let's bring in the Veil of Summers. I think there's a good chance they're going to have a bunch of artifact-based graveyard hate, but... So I think I'm going to go down 1 Ritual, 3 Bolts. Let's try this. And so, like, a lot of times it can be correct to choose to be on the draw against the rack, but I think with 4 Ragavan, 4 Veil of Summer, I just want to be on the play. Claim seems alright, the Private Saga. I mean, claiming Urza Saga is just, like, not what this deck is trying to do. We're not trying to fight, like, that fair of a game plan. Another matchup where I would like extra copies of Empty the Warrens. Okay, let's keep this. So if I see Veil of Summer on top with my Bauble, then I'm not going to cast the Harvest. Otherwise, I will just Harvest for a land, I think. They're probably playing Leyline. It's just tough. Like A-Rack, like there's not a stock A-Rack list to really know what we're up against. And also, like, I'm not experienced enough with this deck list to like really know exactly how to play around everything yet. Turn 1, the rack. I think that, like, empty may be just, like, our best plan against Graveyard Hate is what I'm starting to think. So we will maybe cut some of the, like, the fourth claim, third weather, or something like that for empty. We could cut all the weathers, too. So I reveal 3 cards, and they take one of them. Grapeshot for sure. They're never taking the Mire here. Yeah, they just take the Breach every time. I think the MT is better here than the Underworld Breach is. If I can find a Ritual next turn, or maybe something else, we'll be able to just put 6 goblins into play, and that's just a clock. I think drawing a land, though, maybe I should have played the Mire because that's the card they knew about. But just like Jegantha, the hand's pretty nice. This can be a discard fodder too. Okay, Liliana, I'll just discard Jegantha. The Companion Mechanic, pretty good against 8-rack. Harvest. Alright, let me fetch Shock kind of greedily. Manamorphose. Red-green. Anarchomancer. 1 mana short of Anarchomancer into empty, but if I can Grapeshot the Liliana if I harvest and don't find a Ritual, but if I find a Ritual I get to empty for a bunch. Okay, DRC's fine. I always think the rack is symmetrical for some reason. It's obviously not. Thirst, 2 cards in hand. Shrieking Affliction. So we could go Bauble, empty. I think that I should just be digging for Underworld Breach at this point, though. Wrenchmine, okay, so thankfully we get to, I guess we're taking 3 from this, and then we're taking 2 here, so we're taking 5. We don't know what that last card is either. They don't cast it, which is so greedy. Oh, they get the Shrieking Affliction, the Bauble resolves after, huh? Oh, so that's why, I mean, I did crack it on their turn. Weird. Okay, let's cast Harvest here. See what my top card is. Graveyard that. Non-land. Ritual. So ritual empty 6 goblins, and I'm taking 6, but this is really just Surveil 2 looking for a top deck breach. Ragavan doesn't really matter. Alright. Attack for 3. Got to dig kind of deep, but at 17, we have 9 next turn. Dead to another rack effect. Yeah, I think the only card that gets us out of this is Breach. We also have, like, Manamorphose or Harvest into Breach. Well, I guess Harvest doesn't work because we're a little short on mana. So they target me with a discard spell. I Veil. There's no card I can draw that gets me out of the Shrieking Affliction, though, on their turn. Bummer, bummer. Well, congratulations, Rack player. Probably not a great matchup, huh? Classic matchup, Storm versus the Rack. I think 4 claims would have been good. I don't really think so. I don't know. Like, you just can't afford to, like, delete. When you're linear decks like this, it's, like, very easy to, like, over sideboard and play 4 Nature's Claim, but, like, it is hard to cut any 4 cards from the deck. Keep this. Should I think I'm sequencing? Obviously, it's a keep. I think we just go Mountain off Scalding Tarn Monkey. Runs on a Mold of 6. Have we hit an opponent with a monkey today? Maybe like 1 or 2 times. Last match? Oh, we did, yeah. It wasn't super relevant though, huh? Still not Death Touch for players, unfortunately. Ooh. The worst play against a turn 1 Ragavan is another Ragavan. I think I have Bolt instead of Grapeshot. Oh boy. We've entered the Avalanche Riders bracket. Do you like Grange more than the red-white cycle lands? Of course. The Grange is nuts in that deck. I don't even know like what red-white cycle land we're talking about here. Just like 2 mana tap cycle. Could just Grapeshot for 3. Let me see what my top card is. Another Ritual. Oh, Sunbay Canyon. Yeah, usually don't call those cycle lands. Those are the canopy lands. But yeah, Ideal Grange is nuts in that deck. I would never ever play like a different utility land over it in that archetype. So I think they're playing Shape Anew. Looks really similar to this list I had earlier this season. The Utopia Spell doesn't make much sense in Shape Anew. Spiral does though. Okay, but no, a non-blue fetch also doesn't make sense, so. Trying to figure out what's going on. Don't think I'm just gonna like Grapeshot for 4. I do think I might get Furied. So I'm not sure I want to play the Anarchomancer. Playing Anarchomancer is a bit better against Avalanche Riders, but if they Riders, I still have this in play, so maybe that's okay. Let me try to pull up my Shape Anew list. It's fine. Can't find it for some reason. I streamed it a little while ago, though. Yeah, I guess I could have Jegantha here, huh? Oh, man. Grapeshot. That does put 2 more cards in my graveyard, so... Kind of feels like we are living in the Underworld Breach waiting room at the moment. Did they want to use the treasure instead of sacking their Scalding Tarn? That's probably not right. That's almost definitely not right. They're only at 12 life, though. Second Grapeshot would be pretty good. Alright, Jegantha time. If I tried to practice this game with Fulminator, sounds like a good overlap. I haven't tried it, no. There's some cool overlap there. No! Ugh. But they might have some counter magic anyways. Stupid, sexy Ragavan. Okay, so we can go Anarchomancer, Ritual, 6 mana, then Jegantha, Channeler, Grapeshot. Assuming this lives. 4, 5, 6, yeah. So I can go Ritual, keep a Anarchomancer around, Grapeshot them for 5. I guess. Alright, never mind. What are they playing? What is going on over there? I never play less than 4 Grapeshot in this deck. I know that's going to be your instinct, but like a lot of times, decks like this, like Stormer's archetype, I know that's never like really played more than 2 Grapeshots, but this deck, like, you just really want to naturally draw multiple copies. Like right now, top deck Grapeshot is not it would have been lethal last turn, but or close to it. Would have been lethal with the counter spell, maybe. No, sorry, never mind. Not 2 counter spells. I'm rambling a little bit, but I hope the spirit of what I'm saying is still here. I'm trying to think if I try to like just Channeler, Grapeshot. I can also Ritual out Jegantha. Okay, let's play Channeler this turn. I like that it blocks the Ragavan, and next turn if we don't draw something, we can go Ritual Jegantha or something. But like Grapeshot, you just like need to play 4, I think. And then like I would play another MT before like the first Past in Flames probably. I may even play. I had Experimental Frenzy in my first draft. You could play Experimental Frenzy over like Past in Flames. Past in Flames is just like kind of medium here, I think, with only 1 cost reducer or the 4 cost reducers. Okay, so I should have 1 more Stomping Ground, 1 more Mountain in the deck. Their hand is Ragavan, 3 mystery cards. They don't have double red somehow. Are they playing? They must be playing Blood Moon. The more I look at their mana base and stuff. Go Jegantha, go. Above average top deck. I guess I could actually use Jegantha as mana. Could actually be better. Baiting out the Venser is pretty sick. Free 5/5, wow. So like they keep playing all these ETB creatures, or they played a couple ETB creatures, and we haven't seen anything that like from them that uses ETB as well, so I'm a little confused. I guess I could have played the Channeler. Could still play Channeler, but I think I'm just going to go for Ritual, Bolt, Grapeshot. My opponent's swearing in the chat. So they have... Veil Summer does not stop Venser. They're a Spell Pierce Mana Leak deck, so Veil seem kind of nice. They're also playing Ragavan, so Bolt seems nice. They're playing Rin and 6, so Ragavan on the draw is probably just mid against the Rin deck, so maybe just cut those for Veils. Could play like 1 and cut like a Ritual.
But they're playing Essence Flux, the 1 mana blue flicker card?
Surely not. Used to be the hero mono needed, now I'm playing Breach. Hold on. I just hit him with like a villain monologue. To hit him with the I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. You are the evil of this game. That was from Ultron from Avengers 2. Never saw it. Spoilers. Spoilers for Avengers 2: Age of Ultron. But and then I think he got it from Pinocchio. I'm not quoting Pinocchio. I'm quoting Ultron. Let's not play the Channeler against the Ren deck here. Okay, and then I think we're just gonna pass with both fetches up here. Oh well. Okay, maybe draw that. We'll go Mountain Channeler Harvest. They didn't play Red on turn 2. Graveyard is pretty aggressively. Oh, the one of Ragavan. Oh, it's a pretty good pickup. Although they do know about it now because it got revealed. Morning Freya. Okay, they're definitely not playing Blood Moon now that now that we're seeing it. You're playing my buddy. Well, your buddy's mad, so maybe you can smooth things over between us. Probably not actually mad, I know. Alright. Anarchomancer. Manamorphose. Graveyard any card. I guess not Manamorphose. Who would do Manamorphose? 1 mana Underworld Breach. Like to see Brawl do this. Alright, so I can just go both them Grapeshot, Grapeshot. Can Grapeshot a third time if I really need to with the Manamorphose, I think. Alright, we lost playing for 4-1 last time. Let's get another 4-1 prediction going. Terms, like a glimpse of given turns can be, like, in paper, 20 minutes. And I just think that, like, that gameplay is not amazing, and I think it would be better to leave it on the ban list for that reason. But I will also play Elves for a whole week if it ever gets on ban. Yeah, the pin comments thing is really nice, I think. Congrats on the baby, come on. Unban Ivugan, you cowards. Doom with the sane and reasonable takes, as always. Marsflat's ending, interesting. Sacred Foundry ending. Oh, they're on 7. Yeah, I just noticed they're on like 70 cards. Yeah, that's funny. The sane and normal takes from Doom, usually. How do you deal with Grindhouse with the Grixis Breach list? $80 cards, by the way. They're playing their Reanimator. Counter the Rhinos. Play your cheap threats. There's not like a short answer for like how do you play any matchup with Grixis. There's like it's pretty convoluted. And it's gonna be like pretty contextual with what hand you draw, you know. Do you think Grapeshot is better than Oracle and Breach? Yeah, I think it's a lot better. I think like Grapeshot is a better card to naturally draw. I think it also lets you play Jegantha, which is Jegantha is a broken card, and like I've really almost never seen a situation where I basically never seen a situation where like you couldn't kill with Grapeshot, but you could have killed with the Oracle. They do that situation definitely exists in theory, but I think in practice it just doesn't come up almost ever. Ah, I gotta get. That's how you get Bitter Reunion in these decks. 70 cards, discard the Archon. Beautiful. I mean, they have 70 cards, so it's gonna be hard for them to find Breach. Although, okay, I'm gonna draw this mana. I'm gonna play the Manamorphose after the Anarchomancer here. Let's make. We have enough red mana, so we can make red green, I guess. Interesting. So I can go Ritual up to 4 mana. Second Anarchomancer down to 2. Bolt, Grapeshot 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man, I just didn't do it. Forgot to Ritual first. Now I can 3 mana Jegantha though. I mean, if my opponent just persists, Bitter Reunion, we're not winning anyways, I guess. Let's see if my opponent has a 70 card, by the way, gamer. Discard Malik Rebirth, Unmarked Grave. Surprised they didn't just Unmarked Grave of Rights. Alright, let's just go in. I'm gonna go Ritual, Bolt, Seasoned Pyromancer, Grapeshot the tokens, attack for 4, or Jegantha, then Grapeshot the tokens. 3 mana Jegantha. And obviously 2 of them. Then top take an Underworld Breach. But I also have 9 points of power in play. They're at 10. Bolt should have went face. Well, I get to. I don't get. I always bolt face. Grapeshot both tokens. Yeah, I missed 1 damage. It's pretty relevant when they're at 10 and I have 9 power, huh? Wow, haste Priest of Fell Rights with Bitter Reunion. That's actually really cool. Unfortunately, this doesn't maintain haste. This can tap for mana, so I think it's just fine to sack the Anarchomancer. That's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. Does it matter though? I don't know. Can actually only escape 2 things right now. So I think it's better to lead on a Manamorphose, because I can go Grapeshot, which doesn't do that much. But I can draw, cards to escape a 3rd thing potentially. So that's a card in the yard. Let's go ahead and crack this. So now I could Grapeshot for 1, 2, 3. No, I can't Grapeshot twice. So Manamorphose hopefully will find a card that goes to the yard. Can exile 1 of the 2 Grapeshots, I suppose. That's a card that goes to the yard. So Grapeshot is 4 then 5. That's 9 total damage. And then attack with both. So we lose 2 removal spell with that line. So I guess it's better to target this. It's worse against Pyretic Mire. I think playing around like the Pyretic Rebirth makes more sense than a red removal spell. Go for lethal. Both lines are lethal. Because I get to attack. I get to get in with the 5/5 Jegantha. But one of them plays around Undying Effect. Maybe I should put 1 damage on the Archon, maybe. So if they do have a removal spell, they still have to block here and they lose the Archon. No removal spell though. Awesome. Attack first. Oh, attack first. Yeah, sorry. That was it. That was the line. Attack first. Yeah. Didn't see it. Definitely seems like a Blood Moon matchup. Well, maybe not. They are playing Bitter Reunion, Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, maybe not. They're playing Grief. Is Veil too cute? I mean, they're like a 70 card reanimated pile. It's just kind of hard to like really predict too much. I think I'm gonna go down to like 1 Lightning Bolt. I'll bring in 2 Veil, 1 Moon. Veil is good against Archon. Veil is like not as good as against Archon as people think. Also good to see in chat, Gab. Is this week get Breach Band speedrun? I mean, all I do here is try to build good decks, and I, like most of the modern community, have, you know, neglected Breach a little bit. Obviously, the Grinding Station deck has existed for a while, but, like, you know, it's also very good in Prowess. That Prowess is still, like, criminally underplayed. We've played a lot of it on stream. We've played a lot of Prowess on stream, but Prowess is still, like, a criminally underplayed deck, in my opinion. Okay, I think we just harvest for non-land this turn. And it's like it was very good in Grixis Shadow also, and so I'm just trying to, like, this is like, you know, it's kind of like brewing a lot of times is like you're a river, and you're like met with a lot of resistance, and like as your like ideas expand, you don't you hit walls and you can't get further, but sometimes you break through a wall, and like then like a lot of ideas explode, and it's cool. Breach should be a Murktide more. So the thing about Murktide specifically is Murktide and Breach have tension. You can go really deep with like ways to give your Murktide haste and then like make a giant Murktide when you're breaching. And I've messed around with a little bit. I haven't really been able to hammer out a list I like, but there is definitely tension there, you know. Okay. So let's play Channeler, hold a Veil. If they persist, we Veil, and probably just win the next turn. Yeah, but I'm not, like, setting out with the explicit goal to get Breach banned. Alright, Prismatic Ending, pretty good here for them. I think we're chilling, though. I really like Priest plus Bitter Reunion. I think that's really cool. It's a Veil of Grief. Another Grapeshot's actually really interesting. That might be lethal. Maybe a few cards in the yard short. We're a little bit Breach flooded, I guess, too. So we can go Crack a Fetchland, 5 cards in the yard. Ritual, 7 cards in the yard. 5 total mana, Breach down to 2. Cast another Ritual from the here up to 4 mana. Cast one more spell off the Breach, and then Grapeshot. So is that lethal? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then Storm Count for 6, Storm Count for 7, which is 13. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think we don't have it. Just jam in case you miscounted. Now that's a strat. Alright, one more time. 4, 5 mana. 7 cards in the yard. Cast Underworld Breach, 3 mana floating. We can, with 7 cards in the yard, Ritual 2 more times. So 3, 4, 5. That's what we were 1 mana short of just like casting another Breach for Storm Count. Could you Breach another Ritual and do a third shot? No, we don't have enough mana. So I guess what I'm going to do is grab a basic mountain and put Jegantha into my hand and discard Jegantha to hand size for Graveyard Count. We know one of the 4 cards is Priest, so there's a good chance they're just going to play Priest pass. Can we just cast a Breach? I would rather discard a Jegantha, because like if they ephemerate the Grief and like I discarded one and they just discard both my Breaches, we feel so dumb instead of discarding Jegantha instead. Or casting Breach, let it die. I don't really see much reason to cast Breach, let it die over like just Jegantha, discard Jegantha. And they do have the ephemerate. Could have Abundant Harvest into a Ritual for Xaxes if we Mishra said. We're just like not that likely to hit, you know what I mean? Jegantha seems like a pretty OP card when you play to murder your opponent with Grapeshot. What are you talking about? Jegantha is so broken. People always say, it's just a 5/5. It's not just, you don't have to draw this card. You don't have to draw the card. It's awesome. It's so crazy. It's just there. Jegantha is the opposite of mopey. So sick. It's not broken. Jegantha is insanely broken. Jegantha is absurdly broken. Ooh. Weird draw. So Ritual Breach, Ritual. Yeah, we literally won last game because of Jegantha. Like, we would have lost if this free card just wasn't there, you know what I mean? Okay, Ritual Breach. 8 cards in the yard. I think we're a little short. Yeah, I think I tapped Jegantha for mana last night. I don't know if I've done it on stream. Okay, so this is effectively keeps them at the same life total too. Yeah, I know my opponent has Archon in the yard, but this basically means they can't cast any spells next turn or any relevant spells. Then we get one more card. Oh, they have the rebound. Oh, I totally forgot about the rebound. They can't activate. Why can't they activate Priest? Life? They oh, you wanted me to storm off so that they couldn't activate Priest. Yeah, maybe that was the line, huh? It's kind of an interesting thought. Is it? Yeah, maybe just Grapeshot, kill the creatures too. Okay. They also have the swamp. Persist the priests, fine. There, maybe so. I mean, maybe they just drew the persist. It'd be pretty tough to win this game. I think maybe if we draw exactly a ritual, we can, or like Manamorphose into ritual or something. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be making a lot of mistakes with this deck. New decks always are hardest. All right, so anyways, I started casting, I guess. I don't have it here though. I think. So ritual. That can go Grapeshot, Ritual, Grapeshot, which is not lethal, but can it clear the board? So I can go Grapeshot for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ritual, Grapeshot for 5. No. But I can go Grapeshot. Maybe it's just better to Grapeshot, and leave more cards in the yard too. So it's 1 less storm count, but I just have the other breach in my hand still. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I can't tell what's going on. Okay, so we have this targeting here, this targeting here, this targeting the priest, this targeting the grief, this targeting the grief. There's only four copies, so why do I have another click here? I think I just had to click same targets there. Maybe I messed this up somehow. Okay. I think you drew for 4 months. This is kind of red deck. It's pretty red. Maybe you don't count it though. Ignoring deck restrictions, which some decks don't need to make any sacrifice for Jegantha. What are the strats across 100 games for the 15th sideboard card? How many games does it win compared to Jegantha? I don't overthink it. Don't overthink, like, if you can play Jegantha, it costs you nothing besides 15 sideboard slot. It's always correct. It's always correct. Don't worry too much more than that, in my opinion. Sorry. Canister, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. They're gonna play a second Blood Moon. We're storming today. No lands. 2 lands. Welcome to all the faithless looters. Let's just surveil into turn 2 Blood Moon, I guess. Hello, where are the good cards? We got a couple of them in there. This one's the best one, Jegantha. We got a ritual and the experimental frenzy we were trying for 2 MTs. I think I want to go up to like 4 MTs in the 75, but like maybe 2 main, 2 side. I think we want to keep Manamorphose. So you can like if you build the deck that way, you can like bring in the MTs against more graveyard hate. And that can be your main plan against graveyard hate, which I think makes sense. I'm not sure how relevant Lurrus was in Burn, because if you were casting Lurrus, you're probably losing. People said this all the time, and it drove me actually crazy. Like, against like Murktide and Rakdos and the Bird Mirror and Control, you would need that extra card to like potentially win you a game you were losing, you know? It drove me nuts. Burn players would say this all the time, and they're still saying it. They're still saying it, I guess. I almost like Ritual, Manamorphose, Abundant Harvest, and then just like Grapeshot for 4 and attack with a Delirious Channeler if I don't find anything. It's pretty like all in. I don't know. I'm trying to like figure out what the right lines are with the deck still, and so I don't mind taking more aggressive lines. Although I will definitely just keep Underworld Breach here. So keep this on top, and then we go green, red. And then we can cast Abundant Harvest and set up for a Breach later. Is it ever better to like do anything else? I don't think so. Could just keep a land. I could name land off Harvest too, because I do kind of need mana to go with the this plan. So yeah, so I could name land and then next turn, or I'll be 1 mana away from breaching them, and I can surveil with this Channeler too, looking for like a ritual best case scenario, and worst case scenario just keep it mounted and try to go off again in 2 turns. Again, I wouldn't be doing this also if we weren't playing against like a slow Reanimator deck, you know. Where I think like this kind of more like burn focused, don't care about the number of cards in your hand is better here. Worse against Solitude. The first time we've seen a Solitude. They're also playing 70 cards, which is still throwing me off so much. Spew? Maybe. I don't know. It could be a Spew. I'm trying to figure out, like, you know, when you're supposed to go for it, like, on turn 2. If you're, like, are you just, like, almost always supposed to wait till turn 3 to go off? It's also true, like, seeing the Breach maybe, like, pump my brakes a bit. I think the Breach is just too good to... And then here they have Grief and Solitude, and... tough. Oh, I missed the Solitude being pitched last game. Yeah, we'd just be in like much better shape here if we waited, so maybe we're supposed to wait. 70 cards, by the way. So they're just putting a 2/1 lifelinker into play. I have a Jegantha. They only have 3 cards. I think I'll not just jam empty this turn. Try to get a few more goblins. If I draw a Bauble or Manamorphose, will probably... Well, if I draw a Abundant Harvest, I can go Harvest for land and empty for 4 goblins. Also true, every turn I wait, they get to Tendrils me for 1. I feel like they have Ephemerate. Let me wait my turn. If companions were Tim, CMC, would that make them fine? I mean, I guess. If every single companion that exists costed 10, they would all be close to unplayable. Lantern in there is their graveyard hated choice. All right, so let me just cast Jegantha. I think that I want to save the Anarchomancer for the turn I play empty to like get like at least 6 goblins. Okay, they did have the Solitude, the Ephemerate. And unfortunately making this a 3-2 is kind of bad for me. We get to gain 5 life. Weird match. 15 lands, by the way. We're not winning by playing the Anarchomancer empty this turn, though, so we'll just chill. Maybe they'll draw a card with the Lantern. Alright, let's draw 3 Manamorphoses in a row, please. That's 1. Maybe they kill the Anarchomancer and we get an extra storm count too. Not quite that lucky, but here's 8 goblins. Conjurers, think the 20 bucks, thank you. So one thing I liked about the Experimental Frenzy that I was playing was it was like an out to games like this where you like throw your hand away and then you just like have like no good top decks. But in theory, like Breach is a good top deck, but then obviously like Lantern is tough. So maybe we'll get the Experimental Frenzy back in the deck. I'll concede to like an Ephemerate here. If I try to Burgy Storm deck in Modern, a couple times when it first came out, it's not really where you want to be in my opinion. Alright, so 3-2 both leagues so far today. Obviously not terrible for a deck that still needs some tuning. Let's take a look at the list. I think the first Frenzy is like... I want to play with it some more. I'm not like saying that it's definitely something we want.